Okay, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about breakups, especially for those who have been to boarding school or who have been through some form of trauma. Just to talk about, what we need to do when we are struggling, if we're going through a breakup or a relationship has ended. So, okay, so today I'd like to reflect. I got asked a question by a subscriber. Someone asked me to make a video about relationship breakups. Now, I'll be quite transparent with you. I feel a little sad at the moment, and I feel this kind of relates into the video about breakup, this process of grieving. So I heard yesterday that one of the men from that I know from the work I do committed suicide over the summer, and it's like, yeah, it just makes me feel really sad. And yesterday I had a few tears, and it's like that we as men, we don't necessarily talk about it. And it's the same for women, but obviously suicide, I think it's 75% of men have committed, out of the figures, it's 75% of men who commit suicide. So yeah, I'm just being with that, and that links into the question about, how do I deal with a relationship breakup? Is that most of us do not grieve. We do not grieve. We, finish a relationship and immediately we're on. I think it's Tinder. I've never used it, but we go onto these dating apps, and it's like, right, I'm going to find someone else, and you know and I feel myself is that we have to go through a grieving process. Judith Herman, as I've shared before, she talks about these three stages to recover from trauma. First one is safety, and the second one is grieving. The third one is then we return to the world with the gift that we've learned. But often, for me, a breakup can be traumatic, and I feel that they could fit into those three steps. That we need the safety in a relationship. That could be time. Just be gentle with yourself. Create some safety, a container where you can go for walks, be on your own, not fill your time with spending time with lots of people. Yes, that's important, but it's also important for us just to learn, to grow. Then it's the grieving. It's like letting that go. Letting that go. You know, I I left my partner when I was living in London in 2000. We split up. Now, I had a break from relationships. I dated a couple of women for a few weeks, but basically I had a break from long-term relationship until 2008, when I started with my wife. And I went through many years of therapy, monastic life, shamanic training. I was a very different person when I went into the next relationship. And often a breakup, we leave and we go into the next one. We don't recover, so we're still carrying this trauma. We're worried that it's going to hurt. And it builds up and it builds up. And what I've often heard from people is that, they then, if this goes on 3 or 4 times, they then say, I don't want to be in relationships at all. And they just withdraw completely. And I feel that, yeah, if we can open our hearts, grieve, allow the tears of sadness that they're not there anymore. And I can't remember the 5 steps of the grieving process, that when we actually physically lose someone through death, it's the same thing. It's like it takes time, and I think one of them might be denial. The next one is then, grieving. I think there's anger in there as well. So we need to process these different emotions, and I feel that's really, really important. And connecting in with the work of Robert Moore, the idea of initiation is often a breakup is a form of initiation. It's a form of transformation. Another word for initiation is transformation. It's like, can we transform? Often, if we don't go through, grieve, release, learn, what did I learn from this past relationship? What happens is we go in and we create the same relationship. Jung talks about that you know, that we might be with a new person, but we unpack the bags of our unconscious on to them. So they become the same person. We get angry in the same ways. We get, snappy. So we need to take that time to learn what went wrong, what worked really well, and what was that within me, and work on that. Spend, for me, 3-6 months having that time to just go within, do that healing journey. And often what a lot of us do, this is the West anyhow, I feel, is we keep busy all the time. So create some space rather than just working or watching TV. It's like, create some space. Get into nature. Just sit. Don't take your phone. Just sit. Be still. Maybe take a journal. Do some writing. Take a, packed lunch. And just sit. And allow the softness of your heart just to go. I miss her. I miss him. And that's okay. I feel sad. That's okay. I feel guilt that maybe I messed up. Often breakups, we can blame ourselves. So it's not that we push these aside, we just give the space to hold that energy. This is what I feel. This is what I feel. So I think that's really it. For reflections for that, is just allow your heart to grow, to unfold. Again, that we need space, we need time. And often we don't give ourselves that when we go through a breakup. We want to get into the next relationship. And it's really important we don't do that, because we just create the same relationship with a different person. So if we have space to learn, to grieve, to grow, and what are the lessons I've learned from this relationship? And so many blessings to you, and sending prayers to the family of this man who killed himself. Feel very sad, and so many blessings, and I'll speak to you next week.